Hey, come on in, come on in. I know I'm a little bit behind. Tomorrow is going to be Wednesday, and the new episode of Empire is going to be on again. It's just been so many shows coming on, and then with the new shows coming on, Housewives of Atlanta is back, and excuse me having so much going on. I was like, dang, did I do a review on Empire yet? I didn't do Empire or Star, but oh well. I guess as far as Star is concerned, I'll just double up when I do a review of Star when it comes on tomorrow, and I'll probably do a review like a day later. But anyway, come on in, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the video, and also please make sure you share the video on your favorite social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And those of you on Instagram, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Tanya's Primetime TV/media reviews. And those of you on YouTube, please feel free to join me on my Instagram page, which is Tanya Primetime TV. So I got my Instagram and my YouTube going tonight. Now we're going to discuss the most recent episode of Empire, which was season 5, episode 5. And the title of the show was called The Death of Grief. And at the beginning of the show, we saw how Cookie and Jamal, they both were sitting around watching the news. Jamal, he was all in distress and, upset and, sad and just going through it because there was no new word on Kai yet, his boyfriend. So Cookie was sitting up there, trying to console him, try to keep him in good spirits, giving him, a little comfort, letting him know, something's going to come up, something's going to come up. And then out of nowhere, the phone rang. Now, Jamal, he wasn't even trying to answer the phone, and I'm assuming he probably just figured, you know what, it's just going to be some more bad news, because every time somebody brings up Kai, it's bad news. First, we ain't heard from him, then we found his wallet, and not him. So, Cookie, she answered the phone, and she was like, hey, boy, Cookie, hey, boy, you better answer this phone, take this phone. So, anywho, he picked up the phone, and basically, whoever it was on the other end, I don't think they said who it was, but whoever it was on the other end of the phone was like, basically had some good news. They found Kai, he's alive, he's safe, and they brought him home. So anyway, thank goodness for that. And then in other news, Lucius, he had went to see one of his old associates because, he was really trying to get his newest artist, Devin, played by Mario Winans, but the record label, they was like, he's okay, but we really not feeling him that much, so they didn't take the bite. So Lucius, he used some of that reverse psychology on them, and he's like, well, you know what, y'all don't want them. What we're going to do is we're going to have a listening party, and you might want to be there, because basically once y'all hear this dude, singing, performing live in person, you might want to sign him. But since we already put an offer on the table and you didn't bite for it, basically after the listening party, it's going to be basically to the highest bidder. So Lucius quickly upped the stakes on them. But y'all, when Andre was out having drinks with, some of his college buddies, or his, college bros, as they was calling each other, it was basically like, I don't know. It gave off the impression that Dre basically just totally wasn't the same person. It was kind of making it seem like they no longer have anything in common. All his, college bros, they were basically, all straight up and down and all prim and proper and everything. And he was sitting there like, just not the Dre that we're used to or accustomed to. He was just sitting there all chilling and, hey, y'all, it's me, I'm back, like, that ain't how he used to act. Not around his professional associates, his college classmates and things like that. But you know what? They was like, telling him, you know what, we hear that you back, running the business, with your wife, I mean, with the Lions and everything, your parents and everything. And they were trying to play it down. Like what he went to jail for was nothing serious. Like, did they not really realize why he got locked up? Like what he did to get locked up? I don't think they really knew. And then he was acting like he was really offended because, he didn't really go to prison for shoplifting. He actually did, create an event that caused somebody to die. But they was playing it down like, oh, what you went to jail for, wasn't nothing serious. And then he was in there with all those animals. Man, when he heard them call the guys in prison animals, like he was in there for a couple of years. And, he made some good friends. He made some enemies. But when he heard them say animals, his jaws flinched up and everything. And you could tell that, they had just pissed him off. But I think, Dre, he's going to have to come across a new crew because them college bros of his, I don't think he still needs to kick it with him because right now, after spending that much time in prison, after, killing Anika, well, poisoning her, and she fell to her death, which resulted, from him. And then, killing a guy in prison that was, abusing Quincy. He's not in the same mindset anymore. He's not in the same frame of mind as them anymore. They still straight laced from college, probably never done nothing wrong in their life. And they sitting in front of a murderer and don't even realize how dangerous he is anymore. Being on the streets, hanging with criminals, book smart, college degrees, that is a bad combination. A bad combination. So they need to be careful with that. Hey, Kim. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, I got somebody on Instagram. I got somebody on YouTube. Everybody's watching. Hey, Monica. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're just talking about Empire, the last episode, before the new episode comes on tomorrow night. Now, where was I at? Oh, and then they switched over to, Jamal. Jamal, after hearing that, Kai, they found him. He's safe and sound back in the States. He rushed over to the hospital with his mom, Cookie. And after them, hugging and kissing and, all that mushy stuff, the doctor asked him and Cookie, please excuse yourself, because I want to talk to my patient. But Kai was like, nope, nope. They stay. This is family. They like family. So I want them right here. Question. Do y'all think that if Cookie didn't overhear the doctor, discussing Kai's viral load, saying that since he was, after he was kidnapped, he basically was off his meds, so his viral load has increased. Do y'all think that Jamal would have ever told Cookie and Lucius, or anybody for that matter, that he was dating somebody who was HIV positive? I don't know. I really don't know. Especially, we know how Cookie is and how overprotective she is with her kids. When Cookie heard that, she was sitting there like, what? Did he say HIV? My son messing with somebody who got HIV? She quickly pulled, Jamal, hey, let's give him some privacy. And she was talking to him like, boys, you crazy? What's wrong with you? Why are you risking your life to be with this man? But, Jamal, he's not trying to hear it. He's in love. They both in love. He actually, bought a wedding ring for him and was planning to propose before he took that trip, for his, what is he? He's a writer. I think he write articles and things like that. Before he had left and got kidnapped, he had planned to propose and he thought he would never see him again. But anyway, when she got back home, she went to her laptop. She started looking up how to live with HIV, basically doing a little research because she, like most people, we hear about it, but we really don't know about it. So she's looking up information and her sisters walk in and they happen to peep over her shoulders and they're like, girl, what you looking at? Why you looking at HIV? And they probably thought, what, Cookie, is there something you need to tell us? But she was like, no, it's nothing. One of our artists, that we're thinking about signing, he has HIV. So I was trying to do a little research on it. But they were like, are you sure you want to do that? That could like jeopardize, your company, jeopardize your business. And they were like, why would you risk, your family and your business, for somebody who's HIV positive. And I'm like, you know what? She doesn't understand it herself. Cookie doesn't understand it herself. A lot of people don't understand that disease. Kai didn't have full-blown AIDS. He had HIV, which is something that a lot of people live very long lives with, as long as they take their medication and everything. And especially his was undetectable. But you know what? Cookie didn't get that far with Jamal, so she really don't know that much. So she basically, blew him off, especially when her sister was talking about, the preacher who was having sex with the guys in his church. And she was like, even the preachers is giving HIV and AIDS to their, wives and everything. Cookie was like, Lord Jesus, just, you know what? Let's change the subject. Let's change the subject. And you know what? Jamal had mentioned something about a drug named PrEP. Now, I have never heard of that before. But after I heard about it it was actually on another YouTuber's channel named Jay Wilson. I had heard him talking about PrEP because he works for a company that provides prescriptions, for different people, and a lot of them is have like HIV or whatever, and they hand out PrEP also to people who do not want to take a chance of being affected with HIV by people. And I had never heard of that before, but ever since I heard it on his channel, I keep hearing it. I heard it on TV the other day, and I heard it on Empire, last week. So, a lot of people need to learn about a lot of these drugs, because I guess PrEP, evidently, it basically has a high level of drugs that keeps you from getting HIV, or basically reduces your chances to almost none. Now, not saying, oh, go out there and date somebody with HIV. I mean, you really need to educate yourself. You really do. You really need to educate yourself. But there are products out there for you. Now, when I heard that Jamal and Tiana had twins, I was shocked. Was y'all as shocked as I was? I mean, I didn't see that coming. I know they had lost their baby, and I just assumed, probably like everybody else, every other fan, that it was just that baby that they had lost. But now we can see, why Hakeem is really torn up, because at first I thought all this rage and all this anger and his mood swings and all that was just because of, getting shot. Him, losing a lung, not being able to perform and sing on stage and, do what he used to do. But when I found out that she had lost her baby, and it was actually because of the fact that the nurses didn't take her seriously enough, to tend to her when she kept telling them, you know what, I'm in a lot of pain. They showed that scene. They showed like a clip of when she was in the hospital and she was in pain, and then she passed out. And then, afterwards, Lucius and them was there, and everybody was distraught and, saddened by, losing the baby and everything. But that does explain a lot, about Jamal and how he's been acting really like off the wall and stuff, like off the chain, I should say. But anyway, and then Tiana, she still can't stand the fact that he is keeping a gun on him at all times, because after the shooting, I guess he just feels safer, feels like he has to have a gun on him to protect their family at all times. Tiana's not feeling that, though, because although they lost one baby girl, they still have a new baby boy. They still have his baby by, her ex, Nika. So I don't know where that's going to lead to. But Lucius, you know what? As far as Devin, the new artist that they were trying to, sign, he seemed like very concerned. Like, Devin, he just wasn't giving it his all. And Lucius was like, I know you got this inside of you. It got to come out. You want it to come out. What can I do to make it come out? Leave it to Jamal. Jamal, with his talented self, he was exactly what he needed for Devin. He was able to get him all the way right with his vocals and everything. And to a regular ear, one would think that, oh, Devin sounds pretty good. He sounds really great. He has a great voice. But as a fan, for those of y'all who really know Devin, aka Mario Winans, y'all know he can blow the doors off a house. He can blow the panties off a chick, really, with his voice. He has a really, really, really sexy voice. But anyway, and like I said, it's obvious as far as like Hakeem, you know what, the grief, like they titled this show, The Death of Grief. It gave us a lot of more insight on why Hakeem is acting the way he do, because he's still grieving, you know, over his daughter. I don't think he really has a chance to grieve, because they're going through so much stuff, trying to get, you know, start from the bottom again with their business. They trying to pay bills. You know, he got these two kids and he can't perform. You know, just a lot of things going on. But Tiana, it seems like a little of that was rubbing off on Tiana too. Like when she told Becky, if you had any children of your own, you would understand, you know, where I'm coming from. When she was like, I'm trying to get my music out, you know, I got to make money. I got to be able to provide for my family. She was like totally went off on Becky. And I kind of felt bad for Becky, because Becky don't do nothing to nobody. But she went off on Becky, but she didn't go off on Jeff. Like Jeff was the one who told her, you know, in the first place, I'm not really feeling your new sound. I'm not feeling it, because she played that song for him that her and Blake did. You know, the song that Hakeem wrote, that he told her, you know, don't put it out there. Matter of fact, Blake even told her, don't put that song out there. This is just for fun. I think Blake should have told her in the beginning, you know what, your dude wrote this song. He wrote this song. This is just for fun. We are not going to, you know, record this and put this out. But anyway, I think he should have told her in the beginning, you know, whose song that really was. And on top of that, Becky is the whole entire reason why she's on Empire's label anyway. So Becky was like, sis, you need to bring that down a couple of decimals, honey. Don't be yelling and talking to me like that. I ain't got to have kids to understand that you need money to pay your bills. But why do y'all think, like I was saying, that the white dude Blake didn't try harder to get Tiana to not put that song out of them together, the one that Hakeem wrote? And do y'all think, like I, for the last few episodes, have been thinking that there is a little bit of, I don't know, some kind of sparks between her and Blake? Like, seriously, do y'all get that feeling? I don't know. That's just me. I could be reaching. But when Hakeem heard that song being played when he was at home and he heard it played on the radio, he was furious. I'm like, he went off on Blake and Tiana, and I'm wondering, you know, after he went off on both of them and punched Blake out, is this the end of them? Tiana, it seemed like it was the end for her. It seemed like it was a wrap. She's done. She's done with Hakeem. But you know what? I actually think that they might need a break, because I think it's too much hurt, you know, too much pain, too much grief between the two of them. And they really young. And, you know, people who are very young, they don't handle grief well at all. They're a young couple. You know, they have a lot on their plate. I think a break would probably be good for them. But then, wait a minute. Remember when I was saying a few weeks ago that I haven't heard anything about that new singer? Remember the singer that Cookie found when she was visiting Jamal at the prison? There was some chick outside in the car. She was singing into her cell phone. And then, like, later down the line, when her and Lucius was thinking, you know what, we need somebody really big, somebody really good, you know, to put under us, you know, to manage, to get us, you know, off our feet. And she was like, ding, 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 ding. She thought about that girl. But then she came over. She was with her manager. She sung a little bit for Cookie. Remember, Lucius walked her manager out because he was being real disrespectful. Y'all remember that. And after that, I didn't hear nothing about her. I didn't see anything about her. But now I see why. Because Jeff obviously done stole her from Cookie and Lucius. And then he gave her one of Tiana's songs, because he was that pissed off because Tiana put that song out there that he said he wasn't feeling. He didn't even like that sound, but Tiana went behind his back, did what she, felt she had to do. So he was like, okay, you making your own moves, I'm going to give one of your songs away. So he gave one of his songs to that girl. And then I was wondering, like, how long would it take for Cookie to reveal to Lucius, about Kai being HIV positive, letting him know about his status? Lucius has really, really, really surprised me over this season. Like, do y'all remember when Lucius used to treat Jamal like crap? Like, remember when he was a young child and Lucius would get so upset because he would dress up in Cookie's clothes, and that time when he threw him in the trash can? Do y'all remember all that? Now, that was seasons ago, but that's what he did. Now he's the one, trying to tell Cookie, let him live his life. He was like, you know what? First of all, Jamal is a man. He can stand on his own 2 feet. If he's in love with this dude, there's really nothing we can do about it, because you already know how it goes. The more you try to push your children away from somebody they're in love with, the further and further you'll be pushing them away. But anyway, he was trying to tell her, he's strong, Kai's strong. This man survived from being kidnapped overseas. You know what? And he came back to him. So you know what? They'll be okay. They'll be okay. But then, you know what? He also said something. He was like, and if they do die, hopefully they'll still be together on the other side of the world. The other side of the heavens, I should say. But anywho, later when he talked to Jamal, he was like, Jamal, your mom, she's really concerned about you. The only reason that she reacted that way is because she really, really loves you. And on top of that, she's overprotective. But he was like, you is taking care of yourself, right? And he was like, of course, Dad, I'm taking care of myself. Good, because I don't want to have no grown man sex talk with my son. Jamal was like, and I don't either, so let's skip that whole part. But, he just told him, what, give your mom some slack. She's just worried and she's concerned about you. But he said, I did tell her, you're a grown man. You're a grown man. You have your own mind, and you can make your own decisions. But what do y'all think about Dre? He had made a decision to help out Quincy, trying to get him exonerated so he can get him out of jail. So he met up with Quincy and his mom. But Quincy's mom, she still had it set in her mind that even Dre was innocent, because Quincy has been saying since day one that he was innocent, he don't belong there. And so his mom is thinking, you know what, you're innocent too, so maybe, your attorneys, whoever got you out, can help get my son out. Dre was like, I ain't never told you that I was innocent. First of all, he was like, you know what? Let me put that out of your mind real quick. The lady who passed, she ruined my life. She stole something from me, and I stole something from her, which was her life. And he owned it. He owned up. He owned up to it. He doesn't feel bad about it. He don't feel guilty about it. He did the crime. He did the time, and that was it. And then later, he also came clean about the fact about, remember the guy that was abusing Quincy? Remember what happened? He got into, Dre got in trouble so he can get, into lockup. And then he went and had people help him kill that guy that was, abusing Quincy. I don't know what all he was doing to Quincy, but I do know he beat him up really bad. Could have been a lot more going on. But anyway, Dre looked out for him because he was a young kid. He was a young kid. And so basically he took his bully down. But when Devin was performing at the listening party, he had all the ladies, he had all the ladies screaming and swaying, and Mario, this was Mario singing, not Devin. This was Mario, the Mario we know. His vocals was coming out. And you know what? All the people who was there looking, like all the managers, all the labels and everybody wanted him. Even the label, Jackson, the one that Lucius had went to see first. Jackson had turned it down. He didn't take the bait. He didn't take the bite. He was like, nah, I'm not really feeling this dude. But Lucius like, come to the listening party anyway. You know what? You might have a change of heart when you hear him in person. And he did. He loved it. And so he told Lucius, you know what? I changed my mind. We'll take him. We'll sign him. Lucius was like, okay, but the price has doubled. And he was like, Lucius, are you for real? You gonna play me like that? Like, obviously you don't know who you talking to. You don't know who you dealing with. Cookie was like, keep on talking. We gonna triple it. He was like, all right, all right, all right. I'll pay double. I'll pay double. But then, as far back to Jamal and Kai, before Kai had got kidnapped, we knew that he was going to be Jamal was going to propose to him. He had the ring. He was going to propose to him. But what I didn't expect was for Kai to pull out a ring on him. Jamal was like, you done stole my shine. How you going to propose to me when I was going to propose to you? Man, they both got down on their knees. They both handed each other a ring. They both proposed to each other. And, well, I guess Cookie and them got another son. But anyway, I'm also glad that Kai was able to reach Cookie. When they were at the listening party, Cookie was, she was telling him basically, this is my son. I'm worried about him. You have HIV. She still don't really understand much about it. He put her mind at ease. He was like, you know what? I really, really, really love me some Jamal. I'm not going to let nothing, happen to him. I promise. She was like, how can you promise? How can you assure me that he won't catch HIV? And he was trying to explain to her, it's undetectable. I don't have AIDS. I have HIV. Excuse me. Still dealing with my cold, y'all. Let me get a drink. Oh, yes. But anyway, she was like, I was in prison for a long time and I saw people dropping left and right. People with AIDS, people with HIV, AIDS. I saw it. I know what it is. I know how serious it is. But anyway, he was telling her, you know what? He finally helped her relax a bit. He was like, there is nothing more that I want than Jamal. I promise you I'll keep him safe. I promise you we are doing everything in our power to basically make sure that he is safe. And on top of that, he's taking his meds. And then again, remember that PrEP, that medicine I told you about before. Jamal is taking PrEP. So that helps too, as far as with a relationship, him dating somebody who is HIV positive. You know what? I think basically, like I said earlier, everybody needs to really understand that disease. You look at people and like for years, people thought, you know what, you can get AIDS from kissing, you can get AIDS from drinking after somebody, using somebody's fork, sitting on a toilet. You really got to understand the disease. And that's basically what Kai was trying to do. And I'm sure in the future, they'll have a lot more, conversations because Cookie just ain't going to leave this here. This her son, this her baby, she really overprotective. But anyway, that is a really scary disease. So I totally understand her, how they had her character act like that. Because in real life, any parent, me, you, anybody else, we probably come off the same way if we found out our child, whether they were gay or whether they were straight, if they were dating somebody who was HIV positive, we probably feel the same way, which is uneasy. So anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. The new episode comes on tomorrow night. Make sure you watch that one too, and we'll discuss that probably during this weekend. Also, you guys, if you did not watch Housewives of Atlanta, that first episode I thought was really, really good, and I did a review on that. So make sure you go to my YouTube channel. For y'all on Instagram, go to my YouTube channel and make sure you check that video out. And also, I did a review on Married to Medicine also the other day. So that one was really good as well. So anyway, again, make sure you please like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. Also, make sure you share. Please share the video on your, most favorite social sites, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please make sure you share the video. Please and thank you very kindly. And also, as usual, Primetime Squad, make sure you stay safe. Be blessed, and I'm out.